So in this video, I'm going to show you how I created this piece from start to finish. I'm going to talk about some of my charcoal techniques and how to go about using charcoal on canvas, and then I'll talk about how I finish this off so that it doesn't need to be framed behind glass. Hope you enjoy the video. I've got a brand new project that I'm working on, as you can probably tell by the large canvas behind me. Well, I've had this idea for a painting, and I want to do a clouded leopard because I've never ever painted a clouded leopard before. And I have made some little thumbnails, just little doodles. Ignore this one, this is just a little doodle. But I've done some little thumbnails about maybe what I would like to see on my canvas. And I've settled on something that I really quite like, this one down here. Normally, I'd do some more sketches, but I'm going to just jump straight in and have a practice on creating a charcoal drawing at the scale that I want to create the painting. For this piece, I'm using two sources of charcoal, Wolf carbon pencils and some Vine charcoal sticks, and that's pretty much it. I'm working on an ACF backed canvas instead of paper, and I'll tell you a little bit more about those canvases a little bit later on in the video. Unfortunately, not everything goes right the first time, and on stepping back, I realised that I'd drawn it too small, so I had to wipe it away with a rag, and the canvas makes it really easy to wipe away without damaging that surface. So after starting again and drawing it out a little bit bigger, I realised, you know what, I still don't like it, and wiped it all away again. I'm creating this composition from scratch, so a lot of this is going to be trial and error, trying to come up with nice, pleasing compositions and interesting shapes. And unfortunately, it all started to get a little bit messy. So this is the problem with compositions like this, where I don't really know where I'm starting, is it just starts to get a little bit messy and a little bit overcomplicated. So I'm going to just start again, think about my basics. Like now I've got a guideline in here of what I kind of want to see. I can simplify it first, and I'm just going into too much detail trying to overcomplicate everything. So I just want the basic shape of the clouded leopard. I want a nice tree branch bringing you forwards. I don't need to do all this fancy viney kind of stuff. And then I want negative space around it. I just want to guide you to the main focal point, which is going to be this leopard. So I need to get cracking with that, and now I think I've got a clear sort of vision in my mind of what I want to do based on what's in front of me. I can change things pretty easily. So I'm going to get back to the drawing and hopefully start to build a bit more of a design. By this point, I've drawn it out so many times, you'd think it'd just be like second nature to me, and you think I'd be able to get it right in this go. And yeah, almost getting there. The lines I was drawing seemed a little bit more confident, I felt better about the shapes and the positions, but something still felt off and not quite right about it. So I entered into a little bit of a vicious cycle of draw, wipe away, and repeat. Okay, so after many attempts at trying to get the legs right, I think I'm gonna call it for now. Go and do about 1,000 mini sketches trying to figure out these clouded leopard legs, and then come back to it fresh after I've done a bit of practice. I spent a bit of time with a ballpoint pen just roughly trying to sketch in the legs, looking at the lengths of the bones and the way that those legs bend, and tried sketching a few different positions for the leopard to be in. Nothing amazing, but just to give me a general understanding. And that really gave me a bit of a boost. I started to understand a little bit more about the anatomy of the leopard, and obviously it's not absolutely perfect, but it helped me position everything on the canvas a little bit more easily to create a design and a composition and a positioning that I was actually really happy with. You'll notice there's only a tiny little bit of wiping away with the rag. The rest of it is pretty much solid drawing. Once I'm happy with the initial sketch, I can start to refine it a little bit more, starting to add things like the spots and adding some weight to the lines. And I'm also using the vine charcoal to sort of add some of the curves, the form that I want to see in the leopard, especially near the face. You can see that I've got some small dots as well. When I'm mapping out my leopard spots, or whether I'm doing spots or stripes, I like to put little rough marks in first and then go over the top with the darker, more confident strokes afterwards. It just really makes the process a little bit faster and a little bit easier to follow. One thing that I haven't mentioned is that I did actually tone the canvas first, so you can kind of see that a little bit more in these shots where the background of the canvas is slightly grey. And before I used the vine charcoal sticks to start the drawing, I just layered a bit of charcoal powder over the surface of that canvas to give it a little bit of a grey look and also fill in the tooth and the grain of the canvas a little bit so that I could work with more detail. And then I can just use a putty eraser to remove some of the lights so that I can understand a little bit more about the form of the leopard. Now, this isn't my usual process when it comes to doing charcoal drawings. Normally I will have a really solid reference and I will work a section at a time. But for this one, I don't have a solid reference to work from. I'm trying to create the reference material myself so that I can convert it into a painting on a brand new canvas. So this is my rough blocking of the sketch. And now I've got pretty much everything where I want it to be. Now I can start to render. The rendering is the time-consuming bit. This is where I want to try and give the piece substance and make it look a little bit more solid. It's where I transition from thinking about this as a drawing to now thinking about it as a painting. It's all about manipulating the charcoal once it's down on the canvas, very similar to how you manipulate paint. I'm mostly just using vine charcoal to cover the canvas, then I can smudge it into the canvas with my finger or with a brush. They both have different effects. Rubbing with my finger presses the charcoal into the canvas. The marks are softened but are still visible, and the charcoal left behind is still quite dark. With a brush, it's a lot softer. The marks all blend together and more of the charcoal is removed, so the surface looks lighter. I can use combinations of these two techniques, plus layering with more vine charcoal and then erasing to get the look that I want. This is much easier when you've got a photo to copy from. I'm pretty much just making this up, so the lighting on the plants, background and the leopard might not completely match. But you know what? That's okay. I'm not looking for photorealism. I want a piece that draws you in and pulls you into the scene, so it doesn't have to be 100% real. The great thing about working on the canvas instead of paper is that I can just keep on adding things or taking them away and replacing things as and when I need to, and it doesn't damage the surface. I can really easily add leaves or branches over what I've already done and still get it back to almost the white of the canvas. So I'm ready to move on to the main part of this piece now, which is the clouded leopard itself. The issue that I have here is that when you're about 6 to 10 feet away, that clouded leopard looks pretty finished. It looks pretty good, and the values are all right, and everything looks like it should. The issue arises, however, when you get a little bit closer. So as we start to get a little bit closer, we can see that this charcoal work is just nowhere near as detailed and rendered as the background. So I've got to start to bring out some of those details in the leopard itself. But that poses a problem. And that problem is that in order to put the details in, I'm going to have to make everything a little bit darker. And I don't want to end up getting too dark. Like, the background is already pretty dark in itself, and I don't want to make the main subject too dark and in shadow because I want it to stand out a little bit from the background. I'm starting with the face because that's the most important part of the subject. I use the vine charcoal and eraser techniques, but I've also added in the wolf carbon pencils. When I remove charcoal with the eraser, sometimes the white mark that's left is too bright, so I can very gently use those wolf carbon pencils to slightly darken it, almost like doing a glaze like you would with a painting. I don't want to overwork the piece and get every single strand of fur. I'm just focusing more on the value of how light and dark each area is, and then just adding in a few marks with the erasers to suggest the fur detail. I'm using a putty eraser, and then I've also got 2 Tombow mono erasers as well. Because of the grain of the canvas, it actually made it really easy to add that fur texture with just the vine charcoal and the erasers. I actually found it easier than using charcoal on paper. For the areas that I wanted the brightest, I used a Derwent electric eraser to remove the charcoal, and as you can see, even after all of that charcoal that's been on there, it managed to bring it back to the white of the canvas, which would be really difficult to do on paper. I wanted to set myself a challenge with this piece. Originally, it was going to be a study for a painting. It was only supposed to be a quick sketch, but somewhere along the way, I fell in love with it, and I got lost in the process. I ended up creating a completed finished artwork that could easily compete with a painting. So I might not even create a painting from this. I think this study has ended up as something much more. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think I should just leave this as a black and white one-off charcoal drawing? Or do you think I should do another one and turn it into a complete colour painting? To actually seal this piece, it's super simple. I just use some fixative. This is just general purpose fixative from Winsor & Newton. And then once that's dry, I'll just go and use a spray varnish over the top just to finish it off. Sometimes I will use a non-removable spray varnish first to act as an isolation coat. And then once that's dry, spray a removable varnish over the top of that for one final coat. And it's really that simple. This is honestly a game changer for me because I can work on large charcoal drawings now on these canvases, and they work like no other canvas that I've used before. The amount of detail that I can get, because the grain of this canvas is so small, I feel like I'm essentially working on paper. It's not as smooth as paper, so the details aren't as sharp and as clean as I would be able to do it with paper, but they are enough to create a solid and detailed looking drawing. And I actually think that softness helps to improve the realism of a charcoal painting anyway, so it's actually better for it. I think the main difference between working on this canvas and paper for me, and why this is so much better, is because this is so much more resilient than working with paper. Like you saw at the beginning how I was just drawing and then rubbing it off and then drawing and then wiping it away. I was being quite rough with the piece, and I could load up that charcoal and then wipe it away without damaging the surface. Whereas if I did that over and over and over and over again on paper, that paper would end up taking up a lot of that charcoal, it wouldn't go back as white, and I could end up damaging the paper. But I don't have a problem doing that with this. It enabled me to work through that design stage of the process really, really effectively. And then when it came to rendering, through the combination of using the charcoal, the brushes, my fingers, the eraser, I was able to create super sharp details that allowed me to create a finished painting that I am really, really happy with. Anyway, I'll shut up now and I will give you a closer look at the details of this piece. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Here it is.